Hello and good evening, friends. Today is nice Saturday evening. We are into our third session of Play the Markets, and we are discussing stocks. If you have joined, you can start to say hello on the chat bar so that I can get a feeling that I am speaking to some people out there. Hey Himanshu, hey Subhendu. So we will not waste a lot of time. So we have a couple of people at least, I believe. Let's go ahead. In the last session, we were talking about stocks, how to open a broker account, how to do trading, how to do buy or sell. Uh, that kind of gave you an idea as to how to really buy or sell the stocks, how to really deal in money, right? So with that behind us, now it's a time to take decisions, right? So we have an account set up already. We have some money in the account. Now we are all set to buy or sell the stocks. So now we are at a point where we need to take decision as to whether we want to do or buy something, some stock, or sell some stock or not. So let's consider only on the buy side of it, because buying decision and selling decisions are two different decisions altogether. So we'll first talk about buy decisions. Before we do a buy decision, we also need to understand the kind of stocks that we have in our markets, and which stocks are good, which stocks are not so good at this point of time. So let's cover about the stocks that we have in the market, and how to analyze those stocks in terms of uh, their strength at this point of time or not. So what you have on your screen is Reliance Industries. This is the largest uh, market capitalization stock on the stock market. So, and which is a name which is known to everybody, I believe. So there is no confusion at all. So Reliance Industries stock is most valued in the Indian market right now, in the sense that if I bring it down a little bit, you can see that the market capitalization at this point of time is 1,270,000 crores of rupees. That is the market valuation of this stock, of this company at this point of time. And you can see that if you remember, we were live on Thursday, and after Thursday it traded on Friday as well, and on Friday it went up by almost 3%. So the stock price currently is 1878 per share. So obviously Reliance has been doing pretty well today because of the geo story, the thing that you must be hearing about stocks or the stakes being sold to various companies like Facebook, and by virtue of which people believe that this stock is going to do very well in future. So they are buying a lot. So you can see in the graph, in last couple of months, it is kind of going up all the time. As a matter of fact, after it was heard at the time of pandemic, since then it has almost doubled in the price. So that's what it is. I'm on money control. So any one of you who want to go and check out can go on money control, and you can click on the markets here, and you can check the names right here. So you can check Reliance, you can go for other stocks that are there. But once you get there, you will see a lot of information out there that is going to tell you the kind of stocks that we are talking about. So Reliance obviously is one of the favorite, darling of the stock market. You will have a lot of other technical analysis that you can do on your screen right here. So I'll also take example of some other thing. For example, you can check out, let's say, TCS. TCS is also one of the, I think it's the second largest at this point of time in the stock market. So it is loading slowly. Now you can see the prices obviously has gone up a little bit in the last trading session. Now, if you look at the market capitalization, it's more than 833,000 crores. Now, what you are looking at are the top stocks in our Indian stock market. So, Reliance, TCS, Infosys, HDFC, ICICIs, these are the top stocks of our stock market. So, therefore, when you talk about whether you want to get or invest into such stocks, a lot of times you probably get a good feeling about such stocks because you see it everywhere. You get out on the road, you will see HDFCs and the ICICIs of the world. So therefore, it kind of tells you that it's very easy for you to make a decision as to whether you want to start investing in such stocks or not. Now, there is something that I want to tell you at this point of time, that irrespective of the stocks that you are into, and irrespective of whether the stocks are large stocks and you can see everywhere, unless you are sure that the stock is doing well at that point of time, you should not be investing blindly. Now, why I say that is something that I want to show you, and we don't have to go back into history a lot. Let me show you a classic example of a bank called Yes Bank. I am loading the chart here. Now, Yes Bank, till about 6 or 9 months earlier, it was the best performing stock in the stock market, in the Indian stock market. And I'm talking about somewhere around August-September time frame of 2019. You see the stock was doing almost at 400 at this point of time, and no one was aware that the stock is going or about to go through something which is going to destroy a significant amount of wealth. Now look at this, right somewhere around September 2019 time frame, the stock started falling, and not only falling, it started falling drastically. So first of all, within a month, it fell from 400 to 200 and below that, right? It tried to come back a little bit, and then again, somewhere around March time frame, 2019 here, sorry, it again started to fall from 275 all the way till about, at this point of time, which you can see, it's running at about 25 rupees. So all the way from 275 to 25 rupees in just, I would say, last year, in 1 year, the stock has lost almost 90% of its value. Completely devastated. A lot of investors just got screwed in raw sense. And the reason behind that is something that you are aware of, right? All the scams that is coming out because of the owners being involved in whatever scams they were. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you were looking at Yes Bank maybe just 7, 8, 9 months before, Yes Bank was the best performing stock of last 3 years till that point. Now, anybody would have told you with their eyes closed that you go ahead and buy Yes Bank stock. Yes Bank was also a large cap stock, so therefore it was probably a very easy decision for anybody to go ahead and start trading or investing in this stock. But you can see that it's not a blind decision. The stock prices can move up and down. The stock prices are not uniform based on the brand value of the stock that we are talking about. So therefore, we have to understand if a stock is going through a good phase or not. So clearly, Yes Bank, even though now it is not a large cap, it has been thrown out of the top 50 stock. But still, we have to look at the stocks, their performance, and check whether the stock is worth investing at this point or not. So let me just show you one more example of the stock that we always talk about, which is Reliance, right? Now, this is the chart that we are looking at. We just saw that since about March, April time frame when it dropped drastically because of pandemic news, it has grown all the way from 900 to more than 1800. So it has more than doubled in just last 2 3 months, right? Now, if I zoom zoom out of the stock price here, I'm just trying to show you the cyclic nature of any stock. So there are times when the stock prices is going to do well, but there are times when even the best of the brands will not be doing too well, and therefore when you decide to invest in stocks, you have to see whether the stock is doing well or not. It is not loading up clearly. Let me show you maybe. I hope you can all hear me well, and if you have any questions, you can throw that on the chat box. I will definitely try and get you the answers. So obviously the response time is little slower, so we'll wait for the charts to arrive. Right, so I mean the point I was trying to make is that irrespective of the brand, irrespective of the stock that we are talking about, all the stocks will have to be seen from their performance perspective at the point of making investment. Just because the stock has a big name doesn't mean that the stock is tradable. For example, uh, let's say Punjab National Bank. Just about a year ago, before the scam of Choksi or whatever that jewelry stuff that came up, Punjab National Bank was actually a very good stock at that point of time. But now it has come up, it is not a favorite stock anymore. Why? Because of this the scams that is going on. I will also, this is not loading up pretty fast, I believe. Okay, let's see here. I want to show you a 5-year chart here of Reliance. Now, I want you to focus right here. And by the way, this is a long-term stock time frame. So therefore, don't look at just the directional stuff, which is actually going up, no doubt about it. But there are pockets of non-performance, even in the case of Reliance. For example, right here, from this point till about this point, which is a good 6 months to 1 year, Reliance was not performing very well, right? Now, if you are somebody who want to trade in Reliance, will not like to be here when the stock price is not, or the stock is not doing well, right? So it's important that we look at the performance of the stock at this point of time. Now, a lot of you probably would be aware of stocks like ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. It is something that you see everywhere. Their offices, their brand is everywhere, right? Now, this is one of the energy stocks that is obviously a very good PSU that India has. And this is, of course, a large cap stock, which means that it is a very good and highly priced stock of Indian market. Now, I think Himanshu is asking, can we also look at some non-famous stocks? Now, ONGC, it is not a non-famous, but it's a good example of what I'm trying to tell you. Look at this stock price, which again, we are into 5-year time frame here. Now look at this. Ever since January 18th, the stock has been going downwards, right? Now, if you are a long-term investor, obviously you don't want to touch the stock anytime soon because it is in the downward cycle right now, right? But had you been here, let's say around January to March time frame 2016, there was a good significant run for about 1.5 years that you would have loved to participate in, right? So having said that, you can understand that what I'm trying to say is that a stock with a good brand value, a good brand recall, just does not mean that we are ready to invest in that stock. We have to see whether the stock is in its performance zone or not. Not every stock is in performance zone all the time. They are always going through some cycle. It will be up, it will be down, it will be up, it will be down. It is always going through some kind of cycle. So you don't want to get caught in the negative cycle because because you will lose a lot of money at that point of time, or you have to wait till the stock comes back. But there are ways, I will tell you, that you don't have to be, you know, looking at, or you don't have to get caught in the negative cycle of any stock. I'll tell you how to catch up the positive cycle of any stock and invest at the point or till the point the stock is doing well, and as soon as it starts showing some kind of reversal, you get out of it, right? And that's what investment is all about. Your advisor, if you have any, or even mutual funds, for example. Mutual funds have their advisors or the mutual fund managers whose job is to look at the stocks that they have invested. And as soon as the stock get into negative zone, they have to get out of the stock, because obviously if they don't, then the investment is going to go low, right? So now, with this as a background, we will close today's session. In the next session, we are going to actually look at some of the stocks of some of the stocks that are doing well, and we can probably think of starting to invest there. So if you have any question, you can throw that in the chat box. Otherwise, we are done for this session right now. All right, so in the description of this video, you will find the link to the next session, which is going to be on Tuesday, same time, 7 o'clock. So I don't see any questions here. So till that time, have a good time. Go ahead and look at the stocks that you have heard about and check it out. If you have any questions, come prepared next time. Till that time, see you. Take care.